Here are my note cards. They are all there. Those are the ones that I'm going to turn in later. The United States of America has one of the highest high school dropout rates on the globe. Education is crucial for students and people to succeed in life. Many jobs require a high school diploma or a higher level of education to work for those employers. The Department of Education fights the statistic of high school dropouts. Good evening, my name is James Goodlett, and I am a student at Campbellsville University. I'm here to convince you to continue funding the Department of Education with your tax dollars. I'm pursuing a degree in English education and intercultural studies, so education is extremely valuable to me, and it is a little familiar to me as well. By the end of this speech, you should be able to describe the aspects and impacts of the Department of Education. Throughout this speech, I'm going to discuss with you the history of the Department of Education, the Department of Education's positive impacts, the Department of Education's plans for future impact, and the implications if the department were to be cut financially. By the end of this speech, you should have a greater understanding of the Department of Education, and you should have reasons why you should continue supporting it. First, let's discuss the Department of Education's history. In 1979, under the leadership of President Carter, the department was founded. Two major events influenced the department's founding. One is post-World War II scientific competitiveness with Russia. Another is Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty in the 1960s. Both of these events created two kind of goals. One was to improve the quality of education, and another was to improve the accessibility of education. And that is actually the purpose of the Department of Education, to improve quality of education and to improve accessibility of education. Second, let's discuss the positive impacts of the Department of Education. One important impact of the Department of Education is it enforces and supports the passing of laws to enhance accessibility for minorities. For example, Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990 was passed. In 1975, 1 million students or children with disabilities were excluded from public schools. However, today, over 5.6 million students are educated because of the Department of Education. Another positive impact is the Department of Education created standardized tests. These standardized tests help show what students are underperforming, and then gives them the help that they need in education. Another positive impact is the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. One positive thing that this act did is provide quality preschool for all Americans at the age of 4. Third, let's discuss the future plans for positive impact of the Department of Education. One future plan is the Excellent Educators for All initiative. This plan hopes to create a better quality education through rewarding talented teachers. This is in hopes of getting more efficient and effective teachers in schools. Another plan for future impact is to improve the quality of standardized tests. The improvement is to make standardized tests a better measurement for good student qualities rather than just filling in the bubbles. Another positive plan for positive impact is to lower the rate of college dropouts. They want to do this by making college more affordable through the free application for federal student aid, known as the FAFSA. In the past, this has helped students pay for college, but college is becoming more difficult to afford. So now they're trying to find more innovative ways through the FAFSA to make college more affordable. Fourth, let's discuss the implications if the department were to be cut. One implication is that teaching quality would decrease. Less people would be willing to become teachers. This would cause a bigger gap in the ratio of teachers to students, which would cause a lower quality in education. This would cause students to become more disengaged, and this would cause more dropouts. And this lowering number in dropouts would cause a negative effect on the economy. 75% of jobs, of the most growing jobs, require an education higher than a high school diploma. In conclusion, I just want to say thank you for listening to my speech about the Department of Education. Now you should understand the Department of Education's history, its positive impacts, its plans for future impacts, and the implications if its funding were to be cut. The purpose of the Department of Education is to ensure quality education and access for minorities. In the past year, we've seen a lot of racial injustice and inequality. But the Department of Education fights racial injustice. In the last 20 years, the number of graduates of people of color has come significantly closer to the number of graduates of whites. This is outstanding, considering in 30 years ago, in the 90s, 34% of African Americans dropped out of high school. So here's a call to action. You have the power, you have the ability to make education possible for many students who don't have access to education. You have the power to fight for minorities and give them an education by funding the Department of Education with your tax dollars. If you have any questions about the Department of Education, feel free to ask me. I'd love to answer those questions. I just want to say thank you so much for listening again.